Hey everyone, welcome to Tio and Tito podcasts. We're your hosts. I'm Theo,
And I'm Tito.
and today we wanted to talk about Christmas and how our Christmases went. Feliz Navidad, man. How's your Christmas? How you doing?
Naligaing Pasko, man. Doing good, man. This year was different.
It was different.
uh,
How so?
as I say, well, first we had Isaiah, so that was cool. It was his
Oh,
first
yeah. Oh
Christmas.
yeah, it's his first Christmas. It's true.
Uh-huh. But uh we actually all caught COVID.
Yeah, I
a
know.
couple a
Oh,
couple weeks before. I think it was we recorded the last episode and the next day I found I tested positive. And
that's
then
right.
4 days after Angel and Isaiah tested positive. So it took them a while to test positive, but yeah, so it all kind of led up to right to just about Christmas. So it was, we played it safe and um we decided to postpone family festivities,
Okay.
which is almost a blessing in disguise, just because it allowed for us three to be able to have Christmas ourselves.
Mm,
You know, I mean, we had a little thing with my mom's family, which was great. We all hung it outside, all masked, opened gifts.
hmm
So that was nice to have. But on Christmas Day, it was just us three, which is not normal for Angel and I.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't.
on Christmas.
I don't think Lily and I have ever done that.
Yeah, yeah. No,
It's
usually during the holidays, we're traveling between two or three different families. Um, so this one, yeah, I said different, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a good thing or it was a bad thing. It
yeah,
was,
yeah.
we were really experiencing a lot of things for the first time, having COVID and having Isaiah.
hmm
And so fortunately, by the time Christmas came around, uh, you know, Angel and I were testing negative already, thankfully. And then Isaiah was he was well. He was doing really well, but he still had that faint pink line for on the positive test.
Mm,
But he was himself, so it was all good.
yeah.
But it was hard right at the beginning when we all tested positive. Um, Isaiah got hit pretty hard that first day. He tested positive. Um, and then after that, he was back to normal self, which Angel and I were not ready for. You know what I mean? Like he's so there's a Tagalog term, malikot, which he just won't stop moving, non-stop moving. He's crawling, he's standing. Angel and I are like suffering and like dying.
You just bounce
And
back.
he's just like la di da di da.
That's
But
crazy.
no, but it was good, man. So we're still looking forward to spending time with the family, and
Mhm.
once we're all cleared up and good, and thankfully Christmas is a whole season, not just one day. So
Yeah, man.
we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, I like that. That was like a blessing in disguise. Is interesting.
Hmm.
Obviously we weren't. We were bummed out when we heard you guys had COVID. So because we were trying to meet up at least for a little bit one day, do some gift exchange, but we'll have to postpone that. But
Yeah.
even then, I was gonna say I don't remember. I don't think I've ever spent Christmas with like just Lily. Like even when we were dating and before we had Toby, it was
Yeah.
always my family celebrates on Christmas Eve. And
Hmm.
I don't know, that's probably just like a Mexican thing. It's just we that's the day we celebrate. And Christmas Day we just kind of do whatever. And Lily's family always would celebrate Christmas Day, so we would literally just be like the 24th, my family do our thing, go to midnight mass, and then we would drive to San Diego from LA and to Christmas morning and do everything over here. So it's always been with both families every Christmas. So I think that's cool. I think that's interesting to be able to just have it to yourself. We we didn't really get to experience that, but uh, we did get to go to Big Bear, which was really nice. We went to before Christmas Eve. We were up there a couple days with a close friend of mine from high school, John and Maggie. Shout out, and my goddaughter, their daughter, Bella. So it was really fun. First time Toby got to play in the snow. So
Really? That was
yeah,
his
that
first
was his
time?
first time, and he's about to turn 4. So he got to like for reals play in the snow. Man, trying to find clothes last minute to go to Big Bear for kids, it is crazy. But luckily, Lily was able to go to a thrift shop and found some pretty cool clothes and asked for stuff on Buy Nothing on Facebook. by the way, any parents out there, if you don't know what Buy Nothing is, sign up for Buy Nothing on Facebook. Find your Buy Nothing group because everyone just kind of helps each other, give each other free stuff, and it's just little things that you might get rid of because your kids are too big or you don't use anymore, and someone else can use. It's really helpful. It really helps build community too. So yeah, we were able to find some stuff on there to take with us, and it was really cool. It was awesome. We were only up there 2 nights, but that's more than enough with 3 kids, four if you count Bella. So,
Yeah.
but it was really fun. It was really fun. I recorded a lot of stuff, so I'll be posting some of that too. But yeah, it was awesome to be able to kind of. I mean, being in Southern California, we don't necessarily experience snow in
Mhm.
during Christmas. So going up, experience that for a little bit during Christmas time, it's really fun. It's neat. And and then Christmas Eve, my mom isn't here right now. She's back in Mexico with her family. She hasn't
Mm.
spent Christmas with her family in years and maybe decades. So she
What?
really wanted to spend Christmas over there with my grandma, my abuelita, and I was like, "That's go for it! Like that's awesome that you'll get to do that." Um, and so my dad and my sister came to spend Christmas Eve with us, and usually it's at my parents' house, but instead it was over here. And we got to do Christmas Eve and Christmas Day all jumbled into one with both families, so that was really fun. Uh,
Oh, good. So
and
all the festivities were at your guys' place?
us and my mother-in-law, Janet. So we
Oh,
were
oh,
just
that's
kind
right,
of like
that's right.
switching between the two. But yeah, it was really cool. It was fun. This was the first time that Toby, so I say he's about to turn 4, actually like enjoyed the presents.
Oh.
So Christmas Eve, we opened a couple presents. We let him and his cousins open presents, and he was actually like excited for them and wanting to play with them, and just the whole like them running around and playing with their new toys. Like it's such a good feeling, right? As a
Yeah.
parent to see them enjoy that, because especially the girls, they're 1 year old. They're not really gonna understand. It's just like more toys to play with, and
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like Toby the last few years for Christmas he was like overwhelmed and was like, "What are all these gifts? Like, what am I expected to do with these?" But this Christmas, he actually could tell us kind of the things that he wanted, and we did something really
Oh.
cool that we were able to do with him this time because we want to show him like, hey, like my wife Lily's really big into gifting, so we
Mhm.
wanted to make sure Toby understand like part of Christmas is giving to others. So I took him aside to pick out a gift for his mom, and he could actually pick one. And then she did the same. And it's really interesting how like different it is how he picked out the gifts because with me, I was just at Target, right? And we had
Mhm.
like we said $10 to $20, like that's it. And he picked out this like bright orange beach hat like a huge thing. And I was like, really? Like, and he would not stop. He's like, I want to get that for mommy. Like, that's it. That's the one. I was like, any other hat here? He's like, no, I want that one for mommy. I was like, all right, you're getting a big orange beach hat, I guess. And then he picked out a foam roller for me, and it was interesting because
Whoa.
what I needed one, but also Lily asked him, what does Poppy like to do? Like, what's something he likes to do? Let's like figure out what to get him for a gift. And he said exercise. So when they went to the exercise section, uh, he they talked and he was able to pick out a foam roller that he wanted for me, and I actually needed one. So that was really cool. That was actually like a
That
really
works
really
out.
nice surprise to get for Christmas Day. So that was cool.
How did how did Lily react to the beach hat?
She was like, "What the heck is this?" I thought it was funny, but he was just so adamant. He's like, "This is for mommy. Like, we're getting this for her." I was like, "All right, this is what you want to get her." And you know what? She doesn't have a beach hat, so we live in San Diego. She should have one, right?
Yeah, right.
So now she does. Big bright orange beach hat. But it was fun. It was fun, kind of doing that stuff with him, and then just Christmas Day opening all the gifts. It was
Yeah.
fun. It's funny because Toby likes playing video games a lot. So in the
Mhm.
morning, I made breakfast for everyone. We were sitting around the table and we're saying, okay, we're gonna get ready. We're gonna open gifts. And Toby's like, I don't want to open presents. I just want to play video games.
Whoa.
We're like,
Okay.
no, like, no, 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 we're gonna open presents. The girls are gonna want to open the presents, and it really took us a lot to convince him to open his presents. And it was funny because once he starts opening presents, he just wants to play with the present he opens. He doesn't want to open any more presents. So there's the one gift that we got him. The Well, actually, you guys got it. The Mario Kart,
The Mario Kart circuit, yeah.
the Mario Kart Live Circuit for the Switch,
Uh-huh.
and it's super cool because it has a little camera on it. It's a remote control car. So, and when you play it on your Switch, you can drive and create a course throughout your house, and
Mhm.
it was really neat. But it was the last gift under the tree because Lily and I were like, okay, if he opens this gift first, he's not gonna want to open any of the other gifts. He's gonna want to play with
Yep,
it.
yep.
But actually, the opposite happened. He didn't want to keep opening gifts because he would open a small gift and just want to play with those toys, and then open another one. He just want to play with those toys. He actually didn't open that gift until like later, almost like in the afternoon after the girls went down for their nap because he just kept wanting to play with everything else he had gotten.
Right,
Right.
okay, okay.
So when he finally opened it, though, he was just playing with that thing. I think he's played with it every day since, and he loves it. It was a really cool idea to get him that. So yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah,
I mean, we got it for you guys a long time ago, right?
yeah, and
It was like a crazy sale, so I picked up 2 and I was like, "Who would I play this with?" And so,
mm, and
you
then
know,
we
it made
just
sense to give it to you guys,
yep.
so
And then
but it's funny that
it was like a few months ago that I saw it, and I was like, oh, we should play it. And I was like, wait, Christmas is around the corner. We should just give it to Toby for Christmas.
yep,
Right, the big gift. But
very
yeah, man,
cool.
it was super fun. It was fun having Christmas with the family. I didn't have it with like the extended family like we usually do with like all the aunts and uncles and everyone getting
Mm,
together. Because
mhm.
usually it's my mom who organizes that, right? Like invites all my aunts and everything. And I texted them and they're like, nah, like I think everyone should just kind of do Christmas on their own this year. I'm like, that's fine with me. So I got to really spend it with just like my family, my dad and my sister, and then Lily with her family, so her mom and her brother, and we just all got together, and that was it. And it was really cool. Not as small as your Christmas, obviously,
Yeah,
but
but smaller,
it was still
more
like
intimate.
yeah, more intimate. It's almost like you feel more relaxed just in your own home,
Yeah,
just chilling. So yeah, it was really cool. I had a lot of fun with it, man. A lot of fun.
good. Well, it's funny, I wanna you talk about Toby and his appreciation for Christmas. Obviously, this is Isaiah's first Christmas. He's, turning 9 months, so he doesn't quite get, what it is that Christmas is all about and the concept of presents, but, um, Angel wrapped one of his presents, and it was cool kinda how she did it. She purposely left, like, a piece that would easily rip off, so
Mm,
he could, because 'cause he'll just tug on it and it'll rip, right? So he had the opportunity to open presents, and, this could have been just my imagination, but I swear when he ripped open the present, there was just, like, this joy and smile on his face, up to the point where he, like, got to the actual gift. It was like a ring toss thing, and he looked at me like, "Whoa, this is cool," kind of thing, and obviously, this is just probably him just being him, but in my
yeah,
mind, like, he's actually understanding, like, what it is that's going on or happening.
yeah,
I don't know, it's just kind of just, so that was really cool to experience, to kinda see him light up, opening presents, knowing that he doesn't fully quite get, what it is he's actually doing, but, I like to think that there was a part of him that he knew what was going on, when he was opening those presents, so just wanted to share that real quick.
yeah, yeah. It was quite the opposite with my girls, with Iris and Ivy. They just kind of fight over everything that they open, taking it from each other's hands. And we got them a lot of gifts that were like the same, right? Like we got
Mm,
them little like baby dolls because my mom has some at her place that they like to play with, and they're just fighting over those. And then we got Toby's gift to the girls were some stuffed superheroes. So they got Shuri and
nice.
Okoye from Black Panther, and they again same thing. They just keep pulling it from each other, and they're just fighting over it. And I don't know. I feel like that's probably never gonna go away. They just fight over everything. but it's starting now. It begins.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So they're not quite interested in what Toby's doing quite yet. They're kind of just dealing with their own with themselves,
Yep.
kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
For them, it was just kind of like another day. They just have new toys to play with.
At least I'm happy to hear that Toby can kind of
Yeah.
separate from that and
Yeah.
have his time to
To-
himself.
Toby's getting more into the spirit of Christmas. I think he's kind of at the age where he can understand that. Like we went over to Candy Cane Lane, so
Mm.
that's the little neighborhood where everyone does like
Decks out
fancy,
their homes.
yeah,
Yeah,
fancy lights and lights everywhere. And there's people out on their like the little parking spots. They're just like giving out hot
their
chocolate and there's
driveways.
music
Yeah.
and there's people dressed up as Santa Claus. So it's a pretty cool place to take your kids, right? And I think he like the girls had fun because they're just kind of looking at the pretty lights. But Toby understood like, oh, this is Christmas. Like we're walking around, we're having fun, and that was really cool. So I like it when neighborhoods do like little things like that for the community. It's pretty fun.
Mm.
Did you guys go to see Christmas lights at all this year?
We did not, I think we wanted to, but I think just the whole COVID thing kind of just put a damper in,
Hmm.
the season, unfortunately. But it's we're also homebodies, so
Yeah,
where if it's I think it's just easier for us to just stay home and um at the same time again, it's if we did go see lights, it would have been more for Angel and I than it is for
yeah,
Isaiah.
yeah,
So not this year, but uh, there's
yeah,
always next year.
yeah. I think the age that the girls are, it's like a perfect age for them to like kind of see the lights and have fun with it because we were just pushing them
Mm,
around in the cart, and yeah, they're a year and a half, so they can even like walk around a bit and look at all the pretty lights. But yeah, I think at at his age now, like 6 months, it's not gonna be a lot, right?
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
6 months, 9 months. He's 9 months old.
9 months, nine
Yeah,
months. Yeah.
but yeah, one thing Toby has really gotten into this Christmas too is Christmas songs, Christmas music, and
Oh dang.
so and he's like pretty shy about like singing and sometimes even like dancing. I know the daycare was doing like a whole thing where it was like a song and a dance, and every
Hmm.
class would perform in front of the school. And he was just so shy about it. He ended up not doing it. Um, but I could hear him like occasionally like singing songs at home, like to himself. And because obviously it's Christmas, so we're playing Christmas songs, right? We're playing Christmas music. And I had like, I think even today he was like humming to himself Jingle Bells. And yeah, and just like a random song will come on, a Christmas song, and he'll like start singing along. And me and Lily would be like, how does he know this song? We're like, well, they probably learned it in school. He just doesn't like
Yeah.
singing it out loud. Uh, but yeah, it's that's pretty fun. Um, but yeah,
So
that's actually a excellent segue to our next part here. I wanted to talk about Christmas music for a little, and not just talk about it. Where we're gonna do a draft, right? Top five
yeah.
Christmas songs, and I actually had a lot of trouble with this one because I'm not that big into Christmas music. Right,
Mm.
Lily's the one that as soon as it's Thanksgiving, Christmas music comes on, right? And I'm more like, okay, like I'll leave it on. There's a few artists that I'll listen to. I'll listen to their Christmas music. But overall, I think this is actually a hard one for me. So I don't know how well I'm gonna do, but but yeah, I guess
Well,
we'll see.
it's not necessarily how well, right? For me, when I was putting my list together, I'm like, how do I kind of agree with what you say in that, or for your point of view, not necessarily mine. I love holiday music. That I'm all about it. But when I was putting my list together, I was like, would Eric put this on the list? Like, I feel like our choices are going to be very different and different enough so that we're not like overlapping each other,
Yeah,
which kind of
I'm still gonna try
defeats
to
the
win.
purpose. Which kind of defeats the purpose of the draft pick, right? You want to take like the best songs, right? And
Yeah.
you want to have the A plus team here. Um, but yeah, so how do we determine who goes first?
Uh, I have a cap here, my GoPro cap. So GoPro is heads, this side's tails. All right,
Whoa.
you call it.
Heads.
It's heads. You go first.
Yes. All
I
right,
think I think I know what you're picking first. It might be number one on my list too. All right, go for it.
for my number one pick, I have to go with "All I Want for Christmas Is
Damn it!
You," Mariah Carey. It's the song, man.
Right?
It's the song.
I feel like every station that plays Christmas music, like as soon as they start playing Christmas music, that's the first song they play.
Yep. Like
Right.
she's like the first Christmas music meme that you
Yes.
see.
Yeah.
Like right after just even Halloween, right? It's
That's
like
true. After Halloween.
yeah, like memes of her like, all right,
Yep.
dude, she's gonna start making bank again. 'Tis the season, right?
No, that
So
song. I
that
wonder how much that song is played during this time. But
dude,
it's too much. I can't listen to that song anymore.
but but it was gonna be your number one
But
pick.
it is the number one pick. It's like the Christmas song. All right, so since you took the number one um Christmas song, Mariah Carey, I'm gonna go with actually my favorite Christmas song, "Last Christmas" by Wham.
Um,
So I actually like the Jimmy Eat World version a lot more,
mm,
but obviously the original Wham. And I really like this song to the point where I there's video footage of me when I'm like 6 years old singing this song with a keytar, right? And my dad just like has this huge video like camcorder and he recorded me. I was like, that has to be it. That has to be the first Christmas song that like I learned and I really liked. And then when Jimmy Eat World came out with that album that they had the cover on it, it was just like, oh
mhm.
man, here it is. Like that's like one of my favorite bands covering my favorite Christmas song. So yeah, so it has to be Last Christmas. Take your pick, Wham or Jimmy Eat World version, but that's my that's my number one.
But not Cascada. Is it Cascada? Cascada?
Oh no, 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 no,
The techno version.
no! I don't like that one. All right, what you got for your
Oh,
number two?
number two. I'm gonna go with another banger. I'm gonna go with "Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays" by NSYNC.
Oh, In Sync. I
Oh,
didn't think of
oh,
In Sync boy bands.
yes,
That's our era.
this one's another one that comes on, and you're just like, yes, yes. There's no words.
Yeah, I think I went a little more old school for
Okay,
my
that's
number two
fair. That's
pick.
fair.
Uh, Got to go with Santa Claus is Coming to Town by the Jackson Five.
Oh,
You
that
can't
one.
you can't beat Lil Mikey.
That one's a good one. It wasn't on my top 5, but it was an honorable mention for me.
Honorable mention. That has to be in the top. It's the
I didn't like
Jackson Five.
because it didn't make my top 5. Dude,
Okay.
I came up with 11 songs because I thought we were gonna overlap.
Okay. All right.
All right.
But yeah, that's
Number
number two.
3 number 3 for me is "This Christmas" by Donny Hathaway.
Yeah, that's a good one. You don't like the was it the Chris Brown version?
Chris Brown. Eh,
That when I hear this Christmas, that's the version that I hear in my head, like the Chris Brown version.
what?
Yeah,
It's too slow in the beginning for me.
too slow.
Too slow.
I guess,
Not
but it's
too
Chris
slow.
Brown. All right, so my number three, and this is I hear it a lot on the radio, but I'm also a fan of the artist, Bing Crosby. It's gonna be White Christmas. White Christmas, Bing Crosby. I told you I went old
Okay.
school. I went old school for
Okay.
these.
I will match you for my number 4 pick. I'm gonna go with "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree," Brenda Lee.
All right, you took that one from me. I had that one on.
Yeah.
All right, that was number four.
That was number 4, so you're on your
Yeah.
number 4
All
pick.
right, number four pick. Okay, I have to as I had to put this on my list somewhere, and my kids like this song too. So, the Little Drummer Boy. Again,
Nice.
Bing Crosby and David Bowie. That version, I think it's Little Drummer Boy with Peace on Earth. It's combined,
Mm,
but that's how they play it on the radio. So I'm counting that as one. Peace on Earth, Little Drummer
okay,
Boy by
that's fair.
Bing Crosby and David Bowie.
That's fair.
So,
In that case, then I'm gonna go with Pentatonix, their Christmas freaking
no,
mashup.
How many
No,
songs is in that mashup?
I'm just
Yeah,
kidding. I don't know if they do, but they probably do like all 20 songs.
yeah.
Oh,
Pe-
not all 20, but
Pen
20, at least 20 songs.
Pentatonics, their Christmas albums. I mean, those are their highest grossing songs for
Yeah,
Pentatonics. They
dude.
did
And
so well with the Christmas albums.
they have like 2 or 3, right? Like more than
I don't know. There's
at
a
least
playlist on Spotify that's like by them, and I think it's like 4 or 5 hours of just Christmas songs by Pentatonics. Oh,
that's crazy.
yeah. Still, I think my favorite Pentatonics Christmas song though is "Carol of the Bells." The
Mm.
the and it just I don't know. It just sounds so cool, and it's Pentatonics. But yeah, my sister's a big fan of Pentatonics, so whenever we get together for Christmas, that's what's playing in the background, and I just kind of grew to enjoy that. But yeah, that's I had Pentatonics honorable mention for me. Was that your actual number 5?
It
Or
was not. No, no, no.
okay.
Uh, I'm looking at my list. I thought this was gonna be a tougher battle, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah, I'm definitely winning.
Uh, I was gonna switch it up, but I'm gonna stick to my original. I'm gonna go with "Santa Tell Me" by Ariana Grande. Dude,
Oh, yeah, that's a newer song.
it is a newer song, and when it comes on, you're just like, okay, like you can't help but just jam to it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Uh, for my number 5, I had to do this one just because I don't know, I just like it. I have to. I don't even know if it's in, like, the top 10 of most songs, but "Mary, Did You Know?"
That's a good one.
Yeah, and there's so many good versions of it out there too.
Yeah,
I think my favorite version is the CeeLo Green version. It's just so
CeeLo Green.
CeeLo Green did a version of "Mary, Did You Know?" And Lily will fight me on this all the time. She says the Clay Aiken version is better, but she's a fan of American Idol and Clay Aiken. But CeeLo Green just he made it so soulful and it's so cool and yeah, man, "Mary, Did You Know?" CeeLo Green, that's my number 5.
When I hear CeeLo Green, I just think about like what's the song "Forget You."
Oh,
That's just this is what I
yeah.
think about. And so I'm like trying to match it up with "Married Did You Know?" and it's not
Or
quite working for
"Crazy,"
me.
Gnarls Barkley.
Yes,
I
yes,
I I recommend it if you listen to "Mary, Did You Know?" by CeeLo Green. I really like it. I really like it. Uh,
that's a good one.
did you have any other honorable mentions?
Uh, let's see. I did have Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I have it's a song called "Fall La La in Love" by David Martin. It's a more modern kind of poppy sounding Christmas song.
I don't think I know that one.
That's a good one. Hit that one up. I had "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year" by Andy Williams, a classic. And
Yeah,
then "Let It Snow," Boys to Men, uh,
Boys to Men.
and Grown Up Christmas List. I didn't have any like of the slow, more melodic Christmas songs, but I think that's one that's like borderline tearjerker every time I hear it.
Mm. Or
Grown Up
what's that one?
List.
The Christmas Shoe or something like that.
Oh, that's another
Yeah, that
one.
one just makes you cry. I didn't even have
Yes.
it on my list, but it just came to mind.
Oh my that wasn't on any of like the playlist that I was searching, but oh man, there's just so many good
Yeah,
ones.
that one. I like the Beatles, so "Wonderful Christmas Time," Paul McCartney. That's a good one. And then obviously just playing music in church and
Yes.
all the
That's a
time.
whole like that's like a whole
Yeah,
nother draft, I feel like,
right.
right?
I there's one song that we sing at church a lot that I've actually heard on the radio, and that's "O Come, O Come, Emmanuel."
Really?
Yeah, so I've heard that one on the radio before. So I think the version is by Suffolk Stevens. I don't know the
Mm.
name, but uh, yeah, O Come, Emmanuel." I think that's an honorable mention for me just because we would always sing it during Christmas time at church. And then Christmas in Hollis, Run DMC. It's probably the best hip hop Christmas song. I know I went from
Uh,
church to the hood real quick,
yeah,
but but yeah, man, Christmas in Hollis is just such a fun song
and it's
and
it's
over the
so
top.
crazy. It's so crazy, like, the variety of artists um, that will record or, do covers. Like you said,
Yeah,
you go everywhere from, you go from church, you go to hood, you go to pop, there's just
yeah.
so many different kind of versions of it. And I feel like there's a different flavor for for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know Christmas music is like it's good for artists to cover just because a lot of those songs don't have the same like copyrights that other music would have. So it's
Mm.
that's why you see so many artists come out with a Christmas album at some point. And I mean, I'm a big pop punk fan, and there's so many pop punk covers of these songs, and I'll listen to those playlists all the time, and those are really fun too. But
Yeah,
yeah,
man, you could have done "All I Want for Christmas" by what is that? My Chemical
oh
Romance.
my
They
god,
did a
yeah,
cover.
yeah. There, I think Fallout Boy does a really funny one called "You'll Shoot Your Eye Out." That's an original, but that I like that one, but I don't think it deserves a on the top five list.
All right,
But yeah,
so
that's pretty good. Obviously, some of our music here is not gonna. A lot of people aren't gonna agree with our top five lists. So I wanted to get into some Christmas hot takes, to see what
so
else
you
we can get people to not agree with.
you want more people to hate us? That's what you're trying to do.
Yes,
All
hot
right,
takes, hot take. I'll let you go
since I
first for this one too. What's
oh,
your
okay.
number one hot take for Christmas?
My number one,
I
I'm
guess we
gonna
don't have to
keep it,
number them, just any hot
or
take.
my yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay, so my first one is which one do I want to go with? Let's go with opening presents on Christmas Eve versus Christmas Day,
I
which
have
is
I have a
what do
hot
you
take to
do?
go along with that. Uh,
Okay,
but from Lily's side of the family, I remember she said growing up, they would only get to open one gift on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day in the
okay.
morning, it was when you'd get together with coffee and whatever breakfast, and everyone gets together and opens on Christmas Day. Because that's how the story goes, right? Santa comes on Christmas Eve, and all the presents are under the tree Christmas Day. So I think that's the traditional, and I think the one gift on Christmas Eve is more just like to get the kids to shut up for a bit. But and just here you get to open one gift and then the rest in the morning. So I think that
Mhm.
that makes more sense to me. But what were you gonna say?
Um, I think when I was younger, I do remember kind of doing the one present
Okay.
on Christmas Eve and then the rest Christmas Day. But now that we're more grown up, and the way we're seeing families, um, we do we do presents both days because it's with different families.
Mm,
But if I were to kind of set on one, I would do for Christmas morning, uh, day of.
day of. Okay.
Yeah.
My hot take on presents is that you don't have to do presents.
Mm.
Growing up, and I'm hoping a lot more of my like Latino friends would agree with me. I didn't do presents growing up. It wasn't like I think as a kid, little kid, like sure we would get some things, but sometimes all we get is like socks and things like that. But it was never important to us, the presents. And like what was always more important was getting together, like uh just cooking, making food, being with family. And we would obviously the mass was important, going to midnight mass for us. And just hanging out with family and just having fun, right? And on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, we just all kind of like relax and it'd be everyone getting together in one place, like all like aunts and uncles, cousins, and everyone would just pass out in the one house. And
Mhm.
that's how we would do Christmas. Like we would never like get together around the tree and open Christmas gifts and like it was never none of that. And so with Lily being so big on presents, I struggle, man. Like she had to teach me how to wrap a Christmas present. Like I still do not wrap them. I only use bags and put like the paper in it because
Terrible.
I can't wrap presents that well. It's so hard for me. And obviously like Lily wants to get Toby to like do gifts and I mentioned before how we had fun like picking out gifts for each other and that's great, but I still find it as such a hassle to get gifts for one another. I know I sound like such a Grinch, but it just meant like when we were getting together to go to Big Bear, Maggie and John like texted and like, oh, did you want to exchange gifts up there? I was like, damn, we have to get him a gift. Like,
Oh.
because it's almost like they get us a gift, so you have to get them one, right? And I think we picked out a cool gift for them. But it was just like, oh man, like you don't think of those things because I'm not used to it. I'm not used to getting gifts for like my family, for friends, for anyone. Like for kids, I think now that I'm a dad, like okay, I want to give gifts to Toby, right? And I want him to experience that. All the other kids at school are going to be getting gifts too. Like I don't want him to feel left out, in like one way or another. But man, like getting gifts for one another is like Lily and I didn't get gifts for each other. It was just kind of Toby's gift, which we helped
Mm,
out with. But
yeah.
but I'm just not. I didn't grow up with that mentality of doing gifts at all. So it's just like whatever.
And that's a hard one. It's I agree that, you don't have to do presents and uh Angel and I were the same way. We didn't get each other gifts because when we want something, we just get it. Like why wait,
Yeah,
Why wait? But at the same time, for friends and family and now kids, that are um in our circle of friends, it's I don't know, there's something joyous, personally I feel that you give someone a gift and, they again, they get joy out of it. I think
hmm
seeing that is in itself like a gift in itself for myself. I don't I'm not giving a gift because I'm expecting a gift back, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
I don't know, that's a hard one.
yeah,
I would say, I would say I grew up the same. I think, we didn't get a whole lot of presents, it was mostly, and when we did, it was usually clothes for some reason.
yeah.
And
It's kind of stuff you need that you would get.
yeah,
Like I mentioned,
it's
socks.
practical.
Yeah,
It's practical. Like young growing up, when like that didn't make sense, and honestly, I was probably annoyed and pissed off that I got clothes, when I was a kid. But you know, I like to get gifts that are practical. You know that it's going to be used and put to good use.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. I got lucky that Lily likes gift giving, so anything we give to someone, she enjoys going out of her way and figuring out what to get that person.
yes,
So
yeah,
I got lucky there, and I struggle with getting her gifts even for like her birthday when I actually have to give her a gift. I literally have a list in in a notepad on my phone, and it's just like whenever she kind of hints at something or mentions that she would like this or that, I just write it in there because I'll forget, and I
mm,
will remember like come time to like get her a gift. I just struggle. Like I don't know what to get her. So and I feel like
yeah.
she gets me really cool gifts. So yeah, I need to figure that one out.
Dude, Angel and I, we straight up have wish lists. It's just like an Excel spreadsheet of like the item, the link to the item, the cost, and it's just like a running list of stuff.
Does
Um,
that doesn't take away from like the fun and like unexpectedness of a gift?
Heck no, it's because we're getting what we want,
Oh, that's
you
true.
know.
It's
So
like something I wouldn't get for myself, but I would like to have.
yeah, and you don't know when you're gonna get it or gonna receive it, and the whole point is to kind of keep the list long. And, with practical things, right? You don't
Yeah,
go wishing for a house or a car on the list, but you know, little items that can eventually be purchased for a holiday or a special occasion. You're right.
yep,
So, but yeah, no, I don't like guessing. I don't like the guess game either with trying to get the best gift because I overthink that stuff and like yeah, I get to the point where it stresses me out where I'm trying to figure out what perfect gift is, even just for like friends and family and kids.
yeah.
It's like yeah, fortunately uh it's easy, I think now with Isaiah, right? He can give whatever he
Oh
wants
yeah,
and he's cool.
he's happy with a cardboard
But
box.
exactly. Yeah. But I think around Toby's age, like you get more methodical, like the whole giving him the Mario Kart at the end because that's gonna be like his jam, his thing.
Yeah,
You know, there has to be a little more uh thought that gets put into shopping for kids that age, I think.
that's true. Yeah,
Was there ever a gift where that he received that he was like, no thanks. Like, this is not me.
Well, last year when I mentioned he was kind of overwhelmed, like some of the gifts would like move or sing and stuff, and he would just freak out
Mm.
and he didn't like it. So this year he's more like okay with like he got I think oh yeah my sister got him this they're like little like remote control robots that fight each other and you like
Oh,
punch
nice.
each other and stuff and I if we would have gotten him that last year it would have freaked him out he wouldn't have played with it but I
Interesting.
think
Okay.
now he understands what the moving things do and what they're for and he enjoys those types of toys now. So yeah, it's you really got to think about it, especially with kids, what you're getting them.
Yeah.
Uh, Kind of to go along with something you mentioned before. You mentioned like opening gifts Christmas Eve versus Christmas Day.
Uh-huh.
I had a hot take about that uh, because growing up again in a Latino household, we did everything Christmas Eve, and I still would prefer if we would just do everything Christmas Eve. I feel like that's when everything should be done, right? And I know like I follow like my friends on like Twitter and stuff. A lot of Mexicans that's what they're doing. Like it's just Christmas Eve. You get together with the family, you party, you hang out, you eat your like big meal, you drink, and Christmas Day you just wake up, maybe do brunch and hang out, and you just like recover Christmas Day,
Mhm.
and and that's always what it's been like for me. And it wasn't until I started dating Lily that I was like, "Oh, you guys do stuff on the 25th? Like, what is this?" Like, I was up till 1 a.m. at church, and then I went back home and partied with my family till like 4 in the morning. Why are we doing something Christmas morning?
Wait, so your celebrations though, they're dipping into Christmas Day, right?
Yeah, and then but we're just done on Christmas Day. It's just we're up all night.
Christmas Day is just a normal day. It's
Yeah, it's a normal day. It's the recovery day.
ah,
Yeah, Christmas Eve. I mean, we're up. We're singing karaoke. We'll like we'll bust out like cards, and we're playing all kinds of games and loteria all night. Like, like that's literally what we're doing. Like, and even my abuelita and then her sisters are there, and they're up drinking tequila with us like till the early morning. Like that's always like growing up what Christmas Eve was for us. Going into Christmas Day, that was Christmas for me, right? And
mm,
then but Christmas Day was just kind of like everyone's like groggy, just like chilling, figuring out how they're gonna get home because everyone's got work the next day.
right.
But
Well,
that's just how it was. And then my family back home or back in Mexico, that's how they celebrate too. They celebrate Christmas
interesting.
Eve is the big day, and Christmas Day you just kind of with your like immediate family. But again, we didn't do presents, so there wasn't like anything on Christmas Day to wake up to, right?
Right.
Other than Christ being born. That was it. But we celebrated that at church the night before.
Mhm. Interesting.
So yeah, so Christmas Eve is when everything should be.
Well, I guess other cultures can't hang. That's why we have to split it up between 2 days.
And now we just party straight 2 days.
Yeah. So I mean, I think when you look at it equally, we're spending the same amount of time and celebrating, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, it's, Christmas Eve, the night of Christmas Eve, we're doing something. And then like the first half, like the morning, afternoon of Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But then Christmas Eve morning and then Christmas Day at night, that's when you're just like chilling, not doing anything.
Okay.
Unless you're like getting ready to do stuff where you're the ones hosting. But for me, like I don't know that there's ever a time where we kind of um we partied straight on. I think there were a couple years when we did the midnight mass just to try it out and see what that was about. And we get home 1 a.m. 1:30, and we're like, okay, so what do we do now? Like, do we go to bed? Do we have second dinner? Do we?
Second dinner
It was
and third
it
dinner.
was kind yeah, it was kind of just it was a weird. I think it was just different for my family and I when we tried that a couple years.
Yeah, I get that.
But
I
no,
get that.
I'll have to
Yeah, I
spend
mean,
Christmas Eve with
luckily,
you one year.
Lily's family's pretty chill, so Christmas
Yeah.
Day was always still chill for us. But yeah, like when we were dating, we would just do Christmas Eve with my family, be there the whole time, and then Lily would usually be the one to make the drive after. midnight mass from LA to San Diego, and then you just wake up at my mother-in-law's house and to breakfast and gifts, and it was weird. It was really weird going from like a very Latino party, like loud, to
Mhm.
her household, which is like she's half British, and so they do like the fun hats and stuff like during the Christmas uh dinner or lunch, and it's like super relaxed, and we're having like coffee and tea and pastries, and it's just like going from one to the other like so drastically. It was always like jarring for me. Well, I mean, you get used to it. I'm used to it now. I enjoy it now, right? So having the little like crowns for Christmas, that's always fun. My sister and my dad, because they joined us this year at Janet's house, at my mother-in-law's house, they got to participate in that too. So they got the little poppers with the crowns, and it was just something new for them to experience, and it was fun. They really liked it. So yeah, it's just more like cultures combining, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to experience that.
Even yeah, even within same cultures, it's there's just a everyone celebrates differently, you know?
Yep. Yeah. All
So
right.
kind of if you don't mind moving on to the next one here.
Yeah.
Good old Santa Claus. How,
Oh.
uh, with the kid I don't know how to phrase that as a hot take, I guess. This is not necessarily my point of view, but, just to put it out there, Santa Claus is real. What is your take on that for your kids?
My kids already do not believe in Santa Claus. Toby already knows Santa Claus is not real, and he's 3 years old. and
Okay.
and my kids will not believe in Santa. This was one of the biggest points of contention between my wife and I, because she grew up believing in Santa Claus and I didn't. Right? For me, it was always being with family. It was the Lord's Day, Christ is born. Like we legit, like part of the Christmas Eve, like stuff that we would do, we would sing to baby Jesus, right?
Mm,
Because he was coming, and after like the mass, after midnight when he's born, we would like rock the little baby doll, right? Like it was just like little things we would do where it was always very Christ and family centered. And Santa Claus was like nowhere near this picture, nowhere near this thing. So I grew up not believing in Santa Claus, and I always thought that was really good. That was a better way to think about it. So even like up to when like Toby was born, Lily and I would always argue about this, and I was able to find like some videos on it, and ultimately I got her to agree. And in order to not like take away from the fun of Christmas and like the gift giving and stuff, what we've told Toby is that mommy and Papi, us two, we are Santa Claus. We're just pretending that Santa's coming. It's like a game for us. Like we're gonna
mm.
pretend that Santa comes, like, and your friends at school, they might believe in Santa, they might believe he's real, but just play along. You're just pretending Santa's coming, and it's fun, right? Like he understands that when we go to the mall and see Santa, it's not really Santa, just for fun. And we almost see it the same as like superheroes. That's how I've said it, right? Like,
Okay,
oh, it's like
okay.
Spider Man, it's like Captain America. It's like he's not real, but it's fun to pretend, right? And part of the reason we're doing that is because obviously because of me, but uh, one of the points that I think came across that she was able to agree with is that we want to instill trust in Toby, and
Mm,
we don't want him to suddenly find out that Santa isn't real from one of his
right.
friends, because then he might lose a little trust in us if this whole time we were telling him Santa was real,
He's real. Yeah.
right? And then we don't know what will come with that. And I'm sure, I mean, most people turn out fine who believe in Santa Claus, but uh, and once they find out that he's not real, but I want to instill that trust in him. I want to make sure like he understands the cultural aspect of it. I don't I and I see so many kids, and I saw this with like kids that were close to my family, how obsessed they were with the presents and with Santa, and I just found it sad. And I'm like, that's all they care about. Like they don't care about like the meaning behind Christmas and like being together with family and like getting together to cook and do all these things. Like that's always when I think of Christmas, like my childhood, like those are the things, the fond memories I have, not opening gifts Christmas Day. And because I always found that so like self-centered, and I didn't want my kids to go through that. And ultimately, like Lily agreed with the caveat that we still get to do presents and be like, oh yeah, Santa, like Santa's coming
Yeah, there's
and all
still
that.
some aspect of Santa in your guys' holiday.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where we're going with. But my kids will not believe in Santa Claus. They will not think he's real.
So they're the ones that are gonna spoil it for other kids, is what you're telling
At
me.
some point, probably. I could totally see Toby just like get into an angry argument with someone and just yell at them, "Well, Santa isn't real." Like
Yeah.
it might come out at some point, but we're trying to tell him like, "Hey, other people believe in Santa. You should respect that and play along with it."
Good, yeah. I didn't I definitely think hearing that, I'm definitely more in line, with that. I think growing up, I remember, making wish lists for Santa and writing letters to Santa, but, you know, I don't really know if I don't recall if someone had to tell me that Santa wasn't real or if I kind of found out on my own.
Hmm.
Um, but even then, I wasn't like distraught or heartbroken or
Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, as long as I was getting a present, I think that's all that I really cared about when I was
yeah,
younger. Um, but yeah, no, it's crazy to see just on social media the great lengths that some families will go through to kind of portray that Santa persona. I've
yeah,
seen families like take like a boot and dip it in flour and like make footprints, right? From like their chimney to the
yeah.
tree. I'm like, really? That's intense. And that's a lot of work. And I'm not about it.
No, and
But go
another
ahead.
thing that I had forgotten about this, but another thing that came up is that with children, like, what if, like, let's say Toby and like some other kid both believe in Santa, and then Toby got like this Mario Kart Live Circuit thing, right, for Christmas,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the other kid only got like a Hot Wheel. Like,
Mm.
what are they gonna think? There's a naughty and nice list. Like, was Toby better than me this year? Is that why he? Because they go home and they brag about their or they go to school and they're gonna brag about what they got for Christmas. They're
What
gonna
they got
be
for
excited.
Christmas.
Well,
Yep.
not even brag, just be excited to share, right?
Yeah.
And so if all of them believe in Santa, like they start thinking like, well, why did that kid get something way bigger than me? It was like, well, Toby is gonna understand that it's because the parents were able to. It's what the parents were able to afford for their kid, right?
Hmm.
And I want to instill that in him too, where he understands that not everyone can afford the same type of things, and like we need to learn to like share with them, right? But if you believe in Santa Claus, that's just kind of weird, right? When something like that comes
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
No, that's
I stuck to my guns, and Lily agreed finally. But that was legit. Like in our marriage, one of the biggest points of contention, whether our kids would believe in Santa Claus or not.
um I kind of going related but unrelated.
Yeah,
So I I assume that the same was like with the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, all that stuff. Like,
I didn't even understand anything about the Easter Bunny until I was like in high school. I was like, people did Easter egg hunts? Like we didn't do
yeah.
that. I never did that. And
What about?
the tooth fairy, that's an
Yeah.
interesting one. In Mexico, the is not a tooth fairy, it's a ratoncito. It's like a little mouse that comes and takes it takes your tooth.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah. It's el
Oh,
ratoncito. So it's not the tooth fairy. But that
but the
one
with
that one was funny. Like we knew it was I knew it was my parents, but they would always joke, "Oh yeah, a little mouse is gonna come out of the woodwork and take it, and they leave a coin for you."
yeah. All
Yeah.
right, what's your next one, man?
Um. All right. This is oh man, my family's gonna hate me for this one. All right. The best Christmas foods. I'm saying tamales are not the best Christmas food,
Oh
and
my
that's
god.
to all my primos out there and family. Tamales are not the best.
Ooh,
And the best Christmas food is a holiday ham,
ham?
a nice glazed ham. And
Ham?
this is where I got this from too. Okay, growing up, we made tamales every year, and I think the experience of making tamales is it's fun. Like you get multiple people together. I've done it with my family here, and tamales are good. they're like a lot of them are delicious, but if you make them yourself, they're good. If you buy them, especially now, oh, Lily needs my help. Hold on, I'm back. The girls are a little sick, so they both woke up crying. So Lily needed help calming them down.
Oh, dang. Sorry to hear, man.
Yeah, it's they're in daycare, so the girls end up getting sick every like month or so.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude.
That's the standard, I think. But yeah, where was I? Uh, oh, my hot take. Tamales are not the best, and and this is why. Tamales are fun to make, fun to do with family and all that, and it's a tradition, and we make them. But ever since I started making the ham, like I think my family kind of got like over the tamales. And when you make them at home, they're really good. The way abuelita makes them, they're really good. But buying tamales, like especially nowadays, they like don't have any meat in them. There's no carne.
Yeah.
They're just not good.
It's
And unless you're making them at home, they're not good. And even then, like it's such a hassle to make them at home sometimes. And like my family for a couple years, I think once I hit high school and I told them, hey, I want to start making a ham, like a nice like honey baked like glazed ham, like I want to make that. Ever since I started making that, they want it for Christmas every year, and every year like they question whether they should make tamales or not. And I think
oof.
it's funny, like even my Mexican family, my dad was Costa Rican, like his family who they also make tamales, but it's a different kind of tamal, right? They use the banales and stuff. Like they're like, oh no, the ham, Eric's ham is the way to go. And honestly, like that's how I feel now. Like with Christmas, like I need a ham. Like I can have tamales, having tamales like the next day, like Christmas Day in the morning. It's probably more like ideal. It's nice and all, but like the
Uh,
night of, even I'll prefer like a nice like pozole or something over the tamales for Christmas Eve now. And I know I feel like it's just overdone. People are so obsessed with tamales on Christmas, and in my mind, I'm just like, there's so many better foods to make that are
uh,
considered like a Christmas dish, and now like with my family, the ham is the star of the show, and yeah, like I think I've had a ham ever since I made it that first time in high school, so it's definitely like the ideal Christmas food for me. So it's not tamales.
and oh man, I can't talk too much about the tamales, but I know for a lot of my um my Mexican friends, that's a whole ordeal,
Yeah,
right? Right? So
it's a
going to
mess.
the
Like
market and
getting the masa, and you have to get the right kind of masa for it to come out good. And if you don't, making your own masa at home, and it's just
uh
like I get it. I get the whole like family part of it, and it's nice, and that's why I still do it. But if I'm going purely like on taste and everything, I was like, I'm fine without them.
but ham
Ham
out of all
is the ideal,
damn,
and my family
the
loves it,
ideal.
so that's what we're sticking to.
Not even like a good prime rib or a roast, you're sticking with ham.
Ham, and then you just make
Even though
them.
you just
Dude,
you
I eat the leftovers, the ham leftovers, like no problem. I eat everything. Like the next few days, I make scrambled eggs and ham in the morning. I make ham fried rice. I like legit just like repurpose the ham the rest of the week, and I love it. It's still good, and the kids will eat it. You just put it on the Hawaiian bread, and they'll eat that.
well, you didn't get enough of it Thanksgiving.
I have
You're
never
like,
gotten sick of it. Like
"Oh, man." Dang, dude.
it's the ham.
Yeah, so ham I mean, I'm trying really hard to think of another food because
Hmm.
I don't wanna agree with ham. I feel like there's so much other food,
Yeah,
but
I think around
I
Christmas time, the big one's always hot cocoa.
ugh,
Uh, You
chocolate.
don't like hot? Oh yeah, you don't like chocolate. But I actually prefer hot cocoa over atole or champurrado.
Mm.
Yeah,
What was I know champurrado, what was the other one?
atole.
Atole. What's that one?
It's similar to champurrado. Instead of the chocolate, the atole is still made with like the cornstarch, but you can make it like vanilla, strawberry. The atole I actually really like is nuez, right? Like
Mm,
the nutty atole, that one's super good. I really like that. But um, and then okay, that'll be kind of close to hot cocoa for me. But when it comes to like hot cocoa and chapurrado, I'd rather have hot cocoa.
mm, okay.
Yeah,
Alright, well, ham,
you're
I
still
can't
stuck
think of
on it.
another one, so
So that's it. That's number one.
I I guess I'm agreeing with
The
you on that
Christmas
one.
ham.
It's tough because, our families, we don't do, like, the traditional, holiday, like, foods, right?
Yeah. Is there a
It's
traditional
a
like Filipino dish that you guys will make like every Christmas?
um, we're really big into desserts,
Okay.
you know? So, suman, which is sweet like a sweet rice cake,
Mm-hmm.
ube, which is, kinda like taro,
Yeah.
um, so, like, big desserts, like, homemade, um, that's kind of the big thing in Filipino cultures,
Mm.
so we have a very big sweet tooth.
Mm.
As far as savory foods,
I like all those.
uh,
What was the little like the like rice rolls that you gave us?
suman,
Suman? That
suman,
yeah, man.
yeah.
I love those. And you just like pour the what is it? It's like condensed milk over it or something. Like that's what
You
just eat them
you
like that.
can yeah, you can, like, coat it in sugar, fry it up, put
Fried
some
in
butter.
butter.
Oh, man. Wow. Oh my goodness, chef's kiss. Um, but yeah, so those are the 2 main things that my mom makes during the holidays.
Okay.
It's ube and suman. But as far as, like, savory foods, we kinda stick to there's the ham. Our family doesn't eat turkey because I have gout,
Yeah.
or my brothers and I have gout, and turkey is a no-no for that.
Yep.
So, ham is big on there too. Um, but other than that, just like whatever Filipino dish we're craving, it's like we request it and it gets made. So,
Nice.
um, but yeah, so the next one here, let's see what do I have?
Another hot take.
I'm gonna Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I'm gonna one
Yes or
up you.
no?
All Christmas movies suck.
Ooh,
There is no good Christmas movie.
none. That's really how you feel.
I haven't seen one that I want. I'm like, oh, it's Christmas. I should rewatch this. I think the closest one, and it's just because it's a funny movie, but I feel like it's not even because it's a Christmas movie, is The Night Before with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and um
Not even like a traditional
no, it's not a
holiday
traditional.
movie.
I just find it funny, and all and I think Lily and I watched it when it first came out, and it just kind of became a tradition for us to watch that movie. But Die Hard, I'm like, sure, yeah, it's a Christmas movie. It's like what makes a Christmas
Even
movie? Is it happening during Christmas?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
That's kind of just what I don't necessarily agree or disagree because I haven't seen any of the Die Hards.
you
That's
haven't
just
seen
one
Die
of the
Hard
hot
one?
takes that I saw. I haven't seen any of the Die
Okay.
Hards, but I did see Bruce Willis recently stated that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Oh, he stated it.
So
Well, he didn't
yeah,
write it. He's just an actor.
whatever. So I
Die
can't
Hard
say.
is
I was
Die Hard is basically Home Alone with adults.
oh shoot.
So Home Alone is a Christmas movie. Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Okay,
But other than
but
that, like
wait.
what
Going back, all Christmas. I was gonna suggest a Christmas movie draft pick, but I guess not.
I can make a draft pick for Christmas movies, but I I can't I can't take them, man. It just they're also they're supposed to be cheesy, and I get that, but I'm not gonna watch it. Like,
Okay, here's one I care about. This is one
I've
I care.
watched the majority of them, not counting
Yeah.
obviously the Hallmark like Christmas movies. All those suck.
Oh my goodness, those play
Yeah.
like even not on Christmas. So
Well, also I was gonna ask you since you say Die Hard, um, Harry Potter are those Christmas
yes,
movies?
that's what I was gonna say next.
Okay, I have yet to get through like the whole Harry Potter series like back to back. I think I've watched all the movies, but just like sporadically. My sister's a huge fan, but I've never watched like them all the way through. I tried doing it this Christmas again. I got to mid third movie and that was it.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, are you serious?
and
That's
I
it?
kind of like those movies, but I see so many people like, oh, it's that time of year, time to watch these movies, and I watch them like,
Yes,
how is this a Christmas movie?
yes.
Just because
Okay,
it's
so
snowing?
they have a holiday scene in almost all the movies.
Okay.
Um,
I
but
I
it's
do
like
recall in
it's
the
like
first movie. Yeah.
I think for me, it's so I say yes, but I think I'm kind of biased because Angel and I started watching the entire series, Harry Potter series, every Christmas, starting maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, and we did it again this year. Um, and I don't know, it's also being a Harry Potter fan. I think it's just our the one time of the year where we get to rewatch it and kind of relive it again, right?
Mhm.
Um, but I think for most what most people would say is that the first movie is the most Christmassy or holiday-y,
Okay.
whereas the other ones not so much.
Yeah.
Because if you're familiar with Harry Potter, they do, like I said, they, in most movies, in most of the movies, they have a scene. But I think as you get throughout the series, without spoiling too much, the story gets a little darker. So they kind of the story builds, and then I think eventually up to a certain point in the series, the focus is all about the story now
Yeah.
and kind
Yeah.
of building on top of that. So they kind of eliminate the whole holiday shenanigans. But for me, I say it is.
That's fine. Obviously, I can't get through them, so I still don't think they're good Christmas movies.
Hey man, come on.
Like, I watched what are the new ones that came out? The Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2. Those were okay, and I think the effects were really cool. But yeah, it's whatever. And we watched the new the Santa Clauses, which is a series. It's not a movie that came out on Disney Plus, and it was with Tim Allen. It was okay.
Mm,
Also, like I don't know, man. I have yet to see like a Christmas movie that I would be like, okay, I'll rewatch it. And other
Nightmare
other
Before.
other than the night before, but again, that's that's a movie like about friends. It just happens to be on Christmas, and that one's funny, and I like it. I like the actors in it.
What
But
about Nightmare Before Christmas?
that's a Halloween movie. It's not a Christmas movie.
Literally has Christmas in the title.
Yeah, but it's more about Halloween and being
Okay,
who you are instead of trying to be something different.
I don't lean
Christmas
one
is the
way
bad guy
or
in
another.
that movie.
Okay, is there a particular TV show like of like Christmas
I
episodes
like
that you
Christmas
like to
episodes.
watch?
I like the Simpsons Christmas episodes.
Okay.
And just like growing up on them, they're growing up with the Simpsons. I always thought those were funny. South Park has some funny Christmas episodes, but it's the same type of humor. So that those are fine. But I think How I Met Your Mother had really good Christmas episodes that I really enjoyed.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
Him Yum, The Office, Friends.
yeah, yeah, they all had good Christmas. Oh yeah, Friends had good Christmas episodes,
Yes.
and I think those are just it's different though because those are characters that you like grow with and you really enjoy, and then you see them in a Christmas scene, right? And
Mhm.
I feel like with some Christmas movies, you have to rewatch a couple times to really like grow fond of those characters.
Yeah.
Like A Christmas Story, like Lily watched Christmas Story all the time growing up. She loves that movie. She has to watch it every year, and I just kind of watch it here and there. I'm like, it's okay. The jokes are outdated for me. Like I can't do it. I can't watch all that stuff, man. So White Christmas
There
is the
is
most boring movie in the world, and they don't even start talking about Christmas until like the last 30 minutes of the movie or something.
which one is this?
White Christmas,
Oh, White Christmas.
yeah, that one's. I don't know,
That's how I
man.
feel about that's how I feel about Polar Express, and I've never seen it.
Polar
I've seen, like,
Express
bits and
is the worst Christmas movie I've ever seen. The worst.
Uh,
If we had a
got
not top five list, that would be number one on my list.
top 5 worst,
Yeah, and
kind
it's
of off
just the
topic.
graphics are bad, the plot is weird, and I think Toby liked it. He watched it, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Lily, you watch it with him, because I
It's
do
fun
not like that movie.
it's funny because it's kinda off topic, and you don't have to include this, but I just wanted to share. You know how we're both, our Enneagram number is 9,
Yeah,
so peacemakers. Do you remember doing that little personality test?
yeah,
There was there was a post that had the perfect holiday for each Enneagram number. Polar Express was our perfect movie, and
that's funny.
I was so upset. Like, this is so wrong.
Nope. Yeah, man.
Right.
I if you think there's a Christmas movie out there that I would like, just send it to me. I'll watch it. but
Finish Harry Potter. That's that's all.
all right, I'll finish Harry Potter. I'll finish that series.
That's my request.
But yeah,
All right, you got any more?
I got my last one. This is a very Catholic take, but the Christmas season doesn't start until Christmas Day. It's 12 days of
Ooh.
Christmas. It's supposed to be from Christmas
Okay.
to the Epiphany. Even the song, the 12 days of Christmas, the early church, uh, if you're Christian, the early church, that's what they followed. Christmas began on the 25th. And I actually had a priest, the priest at our home church back in LA. Shout out to the pastor, Father Bill. But he would not let us sing Christmas songs at mass at church until Christmas Day. Like we could sing like
Mm,
O Come Emmanuel. We can sing songs like that are like in preparation for Christmas. But Christmas time was from the 25th to the Epiphany, and that was it. That's when we could get in all the Christmas songs we wanted into the church service. But and that kind of like actually made me think about it, look into it more. I was like, that's supposed to be the Christmas time. Like,
right.
sure, like we're preparing for the coming of the Lord and everything, but like the celebration is when the Lord is born and all that. And so I'm like, okay, there's 12 days of Christmas, and that's
Yes.
when it's fun, and that's when we should be like enjoying everything, and that should be the season, in my opinion. I think
Right.
people take out down all their Christmas lights like at New Year's
Way
and
too
stuff.
soon.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like at least wait until the Epiphany, and it's interesting because in my culture, the Epiphany is very important, and the Epiphany is actually when we would get gifts. We would get gifts from the three kings.
Kings, yeah.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
would leave out our shoe, and this is a cultural thing. We would leave out our shoe, and the kings would come by and drop like candies, coins, little toys, whatever could fit in our shoe, right? So it was like our stocking. But that was something we did, and that was really fun. And again, we knew obviously it wasn't the three kings doing it, but we would always try to find like our biggest shoe to put out on the porch so they'd get filled, and like the
Yeah.
cousins would do it too. So that was fun, and we would do that. We would have an epiphany party with the pan de tres reyes, right?
Mm.
And I continue that tradition with my family. We have an epiphany party. So yeah, it's that's when Christmas time starts. It doesn't start the day after Thanksgiving. It starts on Christmas Day and it ends at the Epiphany.
Mm. Okay.
Hot
Okay.
take.
Well, so there's this whole distinction of like Christmas versus holiday, right?
Yeah.
What's so I think that I had a similar one. When does the holiday music? When is it
Hmm.
appropriate to start playing holiday music? Halloween or Thanksgiving, right?
Oh,
And it
Halloween is
and
so
so,
soon.
but it's like
People do it.
I feel people do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it, dude. I forget about Thanksgiving. Like Thanksgiving is still like a whole month from now. Like, what am I gonna
Mhm.
do till then? Listen to
Yeah.
holiday music, listen to Christmas music. Um, so for you, you had mentioned earlier that you guys don't really start listening to it till after Thanksgiving. Is
Yeah.
that what I heard
Because
earlier?
I don't want it to start. Thanksgiving is so important for me,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and it was also important for my parents. Like even though they're not from here, it was like them to be able to celebrate Thanksgiving, being thankful to like be in this country, to be citizens, to like partake in actually like giving thanks and being together as a family. Like that's really big. Like for my dad, right,
hmm,
who had a uh, he migrated here and everything, and like so for me, Thanksgiving is really important too.
yeah,
And I feel like Christmas starts overshadowing that so quick,
yes,
and I want Thanksgiving to like have its day and be like be celebrated, and then we move on
yeah,
to Christmas. So that's why it was like I understand like Christmas music is gonna start playing, but I think most radio stations too, they kind of start Christmas music right after Thanksgiving.
yeah,
I don't really hear it
yeah.
before, like right after Halloween. I don't really hear that. And most of the lights that I see start coming up, uh, we actually put up our Christmas lights on Thanksgiving Day. That's
Nice.
so that's when Christmas
Where
starts. It starts right after Thanksgiving,
Yeah, no, for sure. I totally
the
agree.
holiday.
Yeah, like the preparation, like setting up for Christmas. the day after Thanksgiving, that's when we're putting up decorations. We kind of have the same sentiment in that, Thanksgiving is, a time for us. It's another opportunity for family to get together.
Hmm.
It's not like we're able to do it every day or every frequent. So when we are able to, it's really special. Um, but yeah, it's crazy just to, I think this year, I was at Costco in early October, and they had a full section dedicated to Christmas decorations,
Yeah,
and it's like, I think maybe it might have been even in September. It's crazy, just
yeah.
like
It starts going up.
how the holiday, yeah, it just kind of really trumps, all these other holidays. And I know in the Philippines too, it's pretty big to celebrate, the holidays early on.
Hmm.
It's a very joyous season. Um, so I don't know. I think, it's I get I again I am guilty of, you know, putting music on after Halloween, but that's the extent of
Yeah,
my celebrating the
yeah,
holidays.
and that's fine. Like it doesn't annoy me. It just I don't. I give the importance to Thanksgiving, and I want it to be like Thanksgiving time, and then it's like the holidays and Christmas. It all blurs together anyway. But
Yeah.
I yeah I like doing that. I know when we went to visit in Costa Rica, my family out there, they were saying that right after Halloween, right after October, Dia de los Muertos, all that, they start putting up their Christmas decorations because they don't have Thanksgiving.
Mm.
The next holiday for them is Christmas,
Okay.
so
Okay.
all the decorations go up in November. So yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
You
it's
said this is in Costa Rica?
in Costa Rica. Yep.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool then.
Yeah.
How your dad has adapted, Thanksgiving
Oh yeah.
to kind of be like a holiday for you and your family.
Yep. Very important. But yeah, I think that that wraps up our hot takes, and yeah, so I just wanted to say again, Merry Christmas, and hopefully we get to meet soon, for the holidays, since our
Oh,
plans fell through. We still have your
like you
gift,
said,
I think.
man. Yeah, we got 12 days, man. So we're
We got
good.
12 days. We
We're
got 12 days of Christmas, so we got till Epiphany.
It's not over. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
But yeah, thanks everyone for joining. And again, just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Merry
And yeah,
Christmas and Happy New Year.
all right. See you.
See you guys.
God bless.